Hi, Gemini. This is your reading for April 1st through the 15th of 2019. I just spent some time before starting the camera shuffling through my decks and also just listening to some relaxing music and trying to tune into you guys. It's interesting, I just wrapped up the readings for the fire signs and they were all super heavy, really heavy. And I'm hoping that the air signs are a little bit lighter, but we'll see. I did, during the meditation, get just some, they're almost like daydreams to me, but I feel like Geminis they're really busy right now. The energy just felt a little bit frantic, but I think for the most part you guys are enjoying that energy. You're liking feeling busy. You're actually looking for more things to do, more things to take on. I feel like for some of you, it's this feeling that you haven't been very engaged in your life in a while, and you feel like you need to make up for time that you've missed focusing on things that you want to do or accomplish. And for others, it's a sense of the busier I am, the less time I have to think about things or feel things or worry about things. The energy itself for me was a little bit overwhelming. I would not enjoy being this busy, but from what I was feeling, it's not really perceived as a bad thing from your perspective, at least not at this point. So let's actually get started. See what cards want to come out for Gemini, April 1st through the 15th, 2019. Gemini, April 1st through the 15th, 2019. Gemini 1st through the 15th of April, 2019. Gemini, the 1st through the 15th of April, 2019. Okay. So I'm just going to let you guys know the cards that have come out. I'm just spending some time with the energy here on them. You have the Five of Swords upright, the Page of Cups upright. You have the Nine of Wands in reverse, and you have the Tower upright. I'm not sure with this Tower whether this is something that has already happened or something that's coming. It was the last card that came out, so we'll spend some time on this card getting some clarity about it. The lead card being the Five of Swords. This is interesting to me because this card, in terms of its energy, this is a card of rest and relaxation, recuperation. It's interesting because that's not at all the energy that I felt around you guys earlier. Page of Cups, this also came out upright. The energy of the Page of Cups is one of curiosity. This page is very creative. Page of Cups can also represent intuitive messages, not actual messages that you receive like an email or a text or a letter, but more of those general insights that you sometimes get. I think that happens most for you when you are in this sort of restorative space. And I think maybe that's why you're avoiding having a lot of time where you are resting. I think that's what this is. I think that when you're calm and you're not busy and you are just sort of left alone with yourself and your thoughts, I think that you actually get a lot of these intuitive insights about yourself and about other people that are in your life. I would say with this, just keep in mind that that's not a bad thing. It might feel very heavy or confusing, or maybe like it's something that you don't want to know, or maybe you feel like you shouldn't know, you shouldn't be able to sort of have that insight into people. I think that you definitely like to, your preference in dealing with people is to sort of, you like to explore them and get to know them, and it's a very, it's a mental experience for you getting to know someone. And with this feeling very much like intuition or something that isn't coming from a place of logic, it's almost like there's a tendency for you to reject it and just sort of not enjoy it, or to feel that it's a bad thing. But the thing to keep in mind is that this actually helps you understand people on a different level. It's not so much that you still can't get to know them in this very mental way that you like to explore people, because you totally can. This just lets you know, like, in a way, this intuition about people, it's your way of, like, it's your BS meter is what I'm hearing. It's like, if you see this as sort of like research that you do on a person by allowing yourself to rest and sort of get into this contemplative state and get these insights and these intuitive messages about people, or even about opportunities or choices that you have in your life. If you do that regularly and you use that as a way of taking that insight that you've gained without the person telling you anything about themselves, and then comparing that to what this person tells you about themselves, like, you will know at that point if this person is someone who's honest, if this person is someone who's trustworthy, if this person is someone who is playing games, or whether you can really trust that what you're seeing from this person, what they're telling you about themselves, what they're showing you in terms of who they are, if that matches up with that inner gut feeling that you have about them, then that's actually a good thing for you. And I think just reframing it to realize that it's something that actually aids you in this genuine desire that you have to get to know people, and to not just get to know people, but to try to understand people. I think for most all the air signs, that's the real appeal to people. The air signs especially, they sort of view people as these really intriguing, curious puzzles that they want to like solve and figure out. So this tendency that you have to get these intuitive messages about people, don't avoid that. Try to embrace that. Let this be, if you're not willing to relax and not keep that brutal pace that I was feeling earlier before the reading started, if you're not willing to sacrifice that, at least in this one area, let this be, give yourself at least once a day where you are just sort of still and quiet. Ideally, if you can do it when you first wake up. Because when you wake up, take 20 minutes or so, don't grab your phone, don't turn on the TV, don't even turn on music. Just be awake. Make sure you're fully awake so you don't just fall back to sleep. Once you know that you're actually awake, just relax and close your eyes and just let whatever comes into your mind come into your mind, and don't question it. Don't try to make sense of it. Don't analyze it. Just let that information come in. And then throughout the day, as you are in this busy, frantic pace, part of your mind will still be processing the things that came out during that morning quiet time. So just try to build that into your daily activities. Next card is the Nine of Wands, and this is in reverse. So this really talks about a defensive, paranoid sort of energy. It can also represent just feeling in general overwhelmed, or feeling a need to really focus on one's inner resources. And those would be things like your ability to deal with sadness, or your ability to deal with stress. Really having this feeling that either you don't have the inner resources that you think you need in order to do the things that you want to do, and feeling intimidated, feeling that almost like you have to be on guard because you don't feel like you're prepared to almost like take care of yourself or to protect yourself. Now this last card, the Tower, the Tower obviously it's the card of upheaval. It's everything sort of being thrown up in the air, tossed to the ground. Everything goes where it might go. Again, I'm not really feeling from this card whether this is something that we're talking about in the past, or if this is something that is coming your way. So let's see if we can just get a card to clarify the Tower. We have the Four of Wands. It almost came out totally on its side, which when that happens with cards, I sort of see that as it's sort of like 50-50. It could go either way. It's more directed, and there's actually a card underneath that as well. I didn't know. Thinking it's going to be this way. So first card out for you guys is that Four of Wands. I'm going to take that in reverse. Four of Wands reversed can have a couple of different meanings. With it being attached to the Tower card, I'm going to look at this more as representing a conflict that's outwardly focused. It's not an inner conflict. This is a conflict with someone else. The card coming out that was really literally directly underneath and attached to this card when it came out is the Queen of Pentacles, and that's upright. So this Queen is, the Queen of Pentacles represents sort of the idealized version of a spouse in terms of the domestic life. So the Queen of Pentacles is someone who's very nurturing. They provide financially. They provide a very practical sort of foundation of love and caring. It's the type of spouse, and again, this could be male or female. Just because it's a queen, don't get too caught up in the gender. It's more about the energy. This will probably be a more feminine energy, but it's someone who's extremely stable, someone who is very dependable. They work hard for the people that they care about. They want to create a home. Home is very important to them. That feeling of home being a place where everyone is safe and protected. The next card out is the Five of Pentacles. It also came out reversed. Five of Pentacles reversed is typically a sign of beginning to recover from some sort of financial setback. When the card is upright, that means that there is some sort of financial loss or poverty that's happening now. When it's reversed, it means it's beginning to turn around. So there's probably a focus by you in trying to recover financially, beginning to actually be able to feel like the bills are paid and I'm not as stressed about money, and I actually have some money that I can start to do things because I really want to I want to start to make my home feel the way that I want my home to feel. I want to be able to welcome people into my house and make meals for them. And I want people to feel like they can drop in and they can come see me. And I want to be able to have gatherings with people who are important to me. And that's how I'm going to choose to move past this conflict with this other person that I feel like this was in the past. There was a definite break, there was a definite collapse of a connection with someone else that left you in conflict with this person. And what you're trying to do is to focus on turning around your financial situation. I'm like, in my head, I'm hearing someone literally just, they're like, I'm in a relationship with my money. I'm in love with my money. I'm dating my money. Like, I'm going to romance my money. It's this focus of like, I can, if I put in the effort, if I do the work and I'm performing well, I have control over my money. And right now I'm only willing to deal with things that I feel like I can have control over. And anything else that's sort of an unknown, I don't have time for it right now because I need to get my house in order. I'm focused on building this. I'm making my own little nest and I'm going to share that with people. And that's what I'm doing to help me move beyond this tower. Just wanting to see if I can get any information about this other person, this Four of Wands, the person connected to the Four of Wands. We did have a card that came out really quickly. Let's see what that is. It's so interesting. Okay, so here's insight into what happened. So remember, this Queen of Pentacles, which came out earlier, this is representing you right now, okay? This is that person who wants to have this nurturing home, this caring home. Now, when I asked for clarification about the Four of Wands, the person attached to this Tower moment, the card that came out is the Queen of Pentacles, reversed. So when the Queen of Pentacles is reversed, it's not necessarily that it's a bad card. It's not the same sort of energy that like a Queen of Swords has in terms of a shift from upright to being reversed. The difference between the Queen of Pentacles upright and reversed, the reversal is much more about a focus on self, a focus on financial stability as a means of attaining independence, more so than financial stability as a means of being able to provide for people in order to like take care of others. It's a feeling of I need to get money so that I'm not obligated to anyone. I'm not obligated to anybody else. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to consider anyone else's opinions. I feel like this person, what led ultimately to this tower is the fact that one of you is wanting to build a home. One of you is wanting to establish shared resources, wanting to plan a future that's involves both of you, make decisions based on what both of you want and need. And this person is the exact opposite. They don't want to have to answer to anyone. They don't want to have to share their things. They don't want someone in their space. They actually do not do well living with someone else. These two people are not compatible in a very core fundamental way. That's what led to this ultimately. There was probably lots of other stuff, but those were more symptoms of what was really the underlying thing. I feel like this queen, let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles reverse. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Wands upright. Okay. So again, the first card that came out, Six of Wands upright. Six of Wands to me is, it can be a good card depending on what comes out with it. But typically the Six of Wands is the card that it recognizes success. It is a public acknowledgement, recognition, and someone who has a lot of self-confidence. But the card that came out with that, and again, this is clarifying this other person, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The other card that came out with it is the Nine of Swords upright. Now this card represents, this is the nightmare card. This is sleepless nights, nightmares, really deep depression, anxiety, worry, not being able to stop thinking about something, lots of sorrow. I feel like this person because they're so obsessed with this, they're so obsessed with public recognition, of being viewed as someone who is successful, is super confident. Because they are so fixated on this, that's what matters to them. That matters to them more so than making a home. That matters more so to them than having a partnership or a healthy relationship or a stable relationship, right? How they're perceived by other people haunts them. They are obsessed with making sure that they have this, and they worry nonstop that this will go away or that they're losing this. This is that other person, this Queen of Pentacles reversed, that was not a match to you, the Queen of Pentacles upright. I can see why, Gemini, this focus on your own home, your own space, your own success with money, your own Nine of Cups came out as I was saying that. It's upright. This card is I'm going to show you. This person is very content. They are satisfied, they're happy, they're grateful. This is the wish come true card. This is right before the Nine of Cups, is right before you attain the Ten of Cups, which is sort of the ultimate in like that happy, fulfilled, love-based life. This is the Nine. This is really knowing you're right there, knowing that you're going to be okay and that actually you're doing really well. I think that for you, focusing on building your home and imagining ask yourself, Gemini, what would your life look and feel like for this to be your energy? For you to feel this way? For you to be able to see everything that you have, know it, appreciate it, but not be obsessed with it, and just be really content and happy in your life? What would your life look like? How would it feel? What things might be different? Would things be different? I think if you can focus your energy on that and focus your energy on that life that you want to create, and just make sure that everything you're creating in that life is for you. Don't do anything or try to reach for anything because you feel like it'll make anyone envious or make anyone feel any sort of way. Like, nothing that you're doing at this point should be about anyone other than you. This is really where you need to focus on yourself and doing the things that make you happy, that make you feel like things are going well for you. And I think existing in that energy for a little bit is going to be good for you. But I also just want to touch base back here on these cards. This Page of Swords with the, the Five of Swords with the Page of Cups. These two. Again, this is, remember, this is about taking those moments to be quiet and to get those insights, those inner guidance insights that will help you to know who to let into this new life that you're building. Because that's what's really going to be important, is that you can absolutely build this life. You can build this home. You can embody this Queen of Pentacles energy and really focus yourself on getting yourself to this place. Okay? But if you're doing that and then you let the wrong people in, if you let people come in who are going to be jealous of this or made to feel insecure about this or by this, when people see someone doing well, when people see someone that's happy, a lot of the time people will allow themselves to be motivated by their jealousy and envy and try to bring that person down. So you have to be able to go beyond just what people tell you. You have to be able to go beyond your desire to learn about someone and connect to that part of you that can just, you know the person from their energy, and you know the person from what you've gotten inwardly, your own sort of gut feeling about them. And when you're really stable in that, when you're really secure in that, then you're able to better trust yourself in that the people you're surrounding yourself with, the people that you're trusting to come into this world that you've created, are people who are going to help to make that world better, keep that world stable, support you in whatever your next goals are. Those are the people that you want to allow in. The people who bring you down, the people who are jealous and they're insecure and they make comparisons between what you're accomplishing against what they are, and they're petty people who want to disrupt what you're doing and want to make your life feel unstable and chaotic, and they come in and they cause all this wreckage and they cause all this chaos, and then they just take no responsibility for it. And even if you try to tell them, this is what you're doing, and this is how it makes me feel when you do it, they'll argue, number one, that they didn't do what you said they did, even though they did. But they will try to convince you that how you feel, your actual feelings, aren't valid, that you shouldn't feel the way that you do. It's like, it's beyond not taking responsibility. They're so selfish and they're so self-centered and they're so focused on their own needs that the needs of other people just don't matter to them. The only time they will be kind, this Queen of Pentacles reversed, the only time that she will be kind and inclusive to other people or to another person or share any of the things that she has is when she feels like it will benefit her. And you have to take a look at, obviously this Tower moment, this connection ended. So I do feel like you had an awareness that this was not good, that this needed to end. But I think that you do have to look at you have to look at yourself and ask yourself why you connected to this person, why you overlooked the fact that this connection wasn't what you really want from a connection with someone. What did you get, or what wound was reopened or allowed you to feel that pain from something else, or to distract yourself from something else? There was a reason why you even got involved with someone who clearly just isn't aligned with you and what you want. Hey Gemini, the camera cut out, but I just went back and listened to the recording, and it literally just took two words off of a sentence. So what I was saying is, you have to figure out why you chose to be in this connection with this person, even though it was pretty I think it was pretty clear to you that there were some fundamental differences in terms of what you wanted for a future versus what they wanted, how you are with people versus how they are with people. I think you had lots of warning signs and lots of suspicions, and there were things that you didn't like. And so taking time to think for yourself and to investigate inside yourself why you chose to ignore those things. What was driving you to sort of go against what you knew was best for you? These cards, which came out of the deck that I use as more of like guidance cards or oracle cards, I just want to cover those, and then this, I think this reading is pretty self-explanatory. The first card out is Courage, and this is equal to the Strength card in a normal tarot deck. What I love about it is actually the graphic, though. It's, this flower is blooming out of this, looks like a rock wall. And in the book for this deck, the story about this is actually how, the seed, when it got wedged between the rocks, if it had kept the sort of hard coating that a seed has, if it had stayed in the form of a seed, sort of with this hard exterior, the shell surrounding it, if it had stayed in that state, nothing would have happened. It would just be stuck in between the rocks for forever. But because it allowed that shell to break away, then at that point it started to actually become a flower, and it let its roots develop first, and then once it was stable, which again, this is this building of this home, making your home feel stable, making your financial situation feel stable, you giving yourself the stability that you want just in general in life, the stability that you didn't have in this past connection. You giving that to yourself right now is going to allow you to realize that you can always provide that for yourself. You can always take care of yourself. You can always make sure that you feel stable and loved. You can give that to yourself. Once those roots have been established, then the flower actually starts to come out of where it's been hidden. It was never trapped. It was hidden. And it's actually starting to come out, and it gets to feel the sun again, and it gets to, be enjoyed by people. And it provides something to the world, right? It provides something that's beautiful. It's providing oxygen. It's playing its part with, bees coming and taking the pollen, and this flower has a purpose, and had it stayed in that hard seed coating wedged between these rocks, no one would even know that it was there. The other card that came out, this is Abundance. This is a good card considering what this reading is focusing to. I think that you have turned a corner, not just financially, although I will say financially I think you've turned a corner, and I do think that you're going to either get a raise or a promotion or some sort of new opportunity where your money, your financial abundance will actually be impacted. You will have more money to work with. But this card actually speaks to a life that is abundant. So what this is saying is that you can't be work all the time. When you are engaged with work, you should give it your all, and that is how you will get the abundance back from your work. But work can't just be the only thing. You also have to really focus on taking care of yourself and your needs, and you have to make sure that you have a tribe of your own. You have people around you that are reliable, that are there for you, that really understand you and want to support you, and they don't want to change you or make you different. They love and accept you as you are, and they just want you to be able to be who you are and how you are all of the time, and to feel comfortable being that way. This also speaks to making sure that you're not just focusing on the material world, that you're allowing yourself to have a spiritual practice, whatever that looks like for you, that you aren't losing sort of having abundance in your life, having this life that is made up of lots of different things that really matter to you, that bring you joy and happiness. And when you are in those, whatever those things are for you, whatever you're engaged in, just being 100% engaged in it and being super passionate about it and really grateful that you're being afforded the opportunity to do what you're doing. And I think when you it can exist in that sort of state, especially as a Gemini, to not sort of have that duality issue of, you know, the twins wanting different things. When you can get yourself, your own self, the sort of the combination of those two twins, to feel like your own life is balanced, that you don't do something you don't want to do, you don't deal with people you don't want to deal with. Whatever you're giving your time and energy and effort towards, it's something that you're passionate about, that you feel secure about, that there's a reason why. There's a reason why you are willing to let that thing or that person be part of your life. That's what abundance really is. It's realizing that you have full control over your life and how that looks and how it feels. And all that you have to do is put in the effort and allow the time for that effort to sort of to work and to pull things back to you. So I would just say, be mindful of not being full force, on edge, full of energy, go, go, go. I can't be busy enough. Be really cautious about slipping into that, because that's not what you need to do right now. You need to figure out how to balance that with spending time with yourself and also putting in the time to create this home, environment. You know, if all you're doing is coming home and crashing and sleeping and waking up and going again, like, you're never going to be in this home. And if you're avoiding being in this home because it doesn't feel the way that you want it to, you have to make it feel the way that you want it to, so that you can then feel comfortable being there. And don't allow that to be something that gets lost in the shuffle of wanting to stay busy and not wanting to have time to think. Let yourself have time to think. Let yourself have time to work on building this home that you want. And just know that by doing that, by sort of having that willingness to invest in yourself as much as you would be willing to invest in other people, that's what's going to lead you to this. And this is where you really will be happy and where you will feel really content and balanced in your life. So Gemini, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If anything resonated with you, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. When you click subscribe, make sure that you click the bell notification. That will let you know when I put up new videos. I will be doing videos for the second half of April for all the signs, and those will all be out and ready to go by the 15th. You can also check out my Facebook page as well as my Patreon page, beginning with the readings on the 15th of this month moving forward. For every sign, I will actually go more in depth than what I post on YouTube with extended readings, and those will be available for Patreon members only. Definitely sync up on social media. I would love to hear from you guys. If anything in this reading resonated, please leave a comment and let me know what jumped out. Or if you even come back in a week just to say, wow, you know, this thing happened, or you were right about this. I do love hearing that feedback, because it lets me know that I'm, you know, actually tapping into the energy of the people who are being drawn to these videos. So enjoy it. Please give yourself some time just to be by yourself, and, you know, spend some time just like looking at furniture or art or new bedding or something. Just make sure that you're devoting time every day to just envisioning the type of home that you want to create. I think just doing those two things is going to help you to really move beyond this ending, this tower that happened with this person. I think that that's really how you're going to just release what's left of that in terms of the emotional connection, and start to move forward to what's really good for you. All right, that's it, Geminis. I'll see you guys next time for the mid-month updates.